So Saga Reset has finally come to a conclusion. It's been 24 weeks, maybe even a little more if they've had a recap or a break or something like that, I forget, but it's been quite a while that we've been watching this series. And it's something from the very first episode I enjoyed. Ever since episode 1 with my first review for the series, I complimented it as being a very interesting anime, and I was very confused on why so many seem to dislike the series from such an early stage in the show. And ever since then, I've just been more and more wowed with the series. There's been very few times where I wasn't, jaw on the floor amazed. There's only been like one episode I kind of didn't like, and that was the Haruki focused episode where it was just kind of focusing on her and her mentality. Wasn't a bad episode, just wasn't up to par with some of the rest. I've said that this is a masterfully crafted series for quite a while, and I have no difference in opinions with the series now concluded. I find that Sakuragi Reset is a very rare anime, one that we might not see another of for many years to come, and based on the general reaction from the North American side of the anime community at least, I can't speak for the Japanese, it feels like we may not see something as kind of risky as Sakuragi Reset, because for the most part with the modern anime that we see, it's a lot of high school focused series, which Sakuragi is. However, the school aspect isn't really the focus of it. That's just something that's kind of there in the earlier stages. The primarily focus is more on Kei and Haruki and essentially this reset ability and how it relates to the town, which you can argue, well, there's powers, a lot of modern anime has powers. The difference is it's not really focused on the powers either, it's always just focused on the characters' interactions, and many a times, especially with these later episodes, it can just be in one location and characters talking, and that drives a lot of modern anime fans away. And it's surprising that David Productions took this risk. I mean, David Productions just keep doing JoJo until they run out of manga to adapt, or they would take something else that's more modern, something like a No Game No Life, to just make bank. But I'm happy they did this. I feel like it's very possible, based on how everyone who's concluded this series, who's stuck with it, seems to really love the series and glad they didn't drop off. I have high hopes that this will become a classic series down the line. People will look back and say, why the hell did people not watch this in 2017? This is an amazing series. I feel like that is possible. I've seen an uprising with Kyoso Giga from Toei Animation lately. I feel like this could happen. But I'm thankful, even if we don't see something like this in a long time, that we got this nonetheless. The way they conclude this was spectacular. It wasn't explosive. We've had the wow moments already. This was about Soma, Haruki, and Kei and their ultimate conclusion, because Soma loves Kei, but she always set it up for Kei to be with Haruki. So how is this going to conclude? And I love the dialogue between her and Kei and her and Haruki. This was just, it was beautiful, because Kei and Haruki are essentially a thing at this point, and I love how Kei used, once again, the guy who can transfer kind of like abilities and thoughts around, so Haruki would remember all the things that Kei's seen with her throughout these resets, so she's not oblivious anymore. All of the kind of like reductions and kind of losses that they've had in their relationship have ceased to exist. She remembers how Kei liked her long hair. He remembers, or she remembers the kiss and things like that. Everything that once was lost has now been regained, but the only obstacle was essentially Soma. So I love how the dialogue happens, and I love how it's trying to like paint her in this kind of like witch forefront, but essentially she just wants the best for Kei, and I like how it comes full circle. Essentially, Haruki and Soma, they're not going to be friends, but they're not going to hate each other either, and Soma's going to help Kei. She's going to be kind of like a workplace friend, which is what she painted herself for, and what she wanted ultimately in the end, even if she does love Kei. And I love how Kei and Haruki's relationship came full circle by the time episode 24 came around, and I just thought it was a beautifully crafted episode, and it did everything I think I wanted it to do and a little bit more. I think the voice acting for Haruki is something that really grew on me as well. I really loved her voice acting within this episode, and just overall within the series. I think they found the perfect voice actress for the job for her, and I feel like everything, as bland as everything may seem on a surface level, the blandness just made it feel more human. It didn't feel like it was trying to amplify and say like, oh, we're in this powerful town where everyone has abilities. It just felt like a normal town. It's kind of remarkable that they were able to make a town with power seem ordinary, and I enjoyed it for that. I mean, I've talked about this show for so much, there's not much more I can say. I love the characters. Soma herself is my favorite character in the show. It's amazing how they used a dead girl in such an interesting and intricate way, and how ultimately, even if she was never the real Soma, she is at the end of the day. This was a beautiful series, one that I am just so fond of, and honestly would be in a top 26 through 50 list for me. I don't know where I'd put it, but it's definitely up there. This was an enjoyable series, and even if not many people watch the reviews weekly, if not many people watch the show weekly, those of us who did had something special. It's going to be hard to find a series such as Saga Reset for many anime seasons, if not years to come. I love this series, and what did everyone think of it? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below, and before I leave, smack that like button to share your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care, and y'all have a good one.